Hey, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Mike Miller Show. This week, we have a lot of shit to discuss, but before we get into it, how was everybody's week?
Week? My week was good.
Was it?
It was fine, I guess. I don't know, man. I'm tired.
Yeah, you worked like fucking 85 hours in 4 days.
Yeah, I'm fucking tired. It's okay. It's better now.
Well, that's cool. Casey, how was your day?
Good.
Or week,
Everything's
rather?
all right, just busy as usual.
Yeah.
Huh. Well,
we bitch about working a whole bunch, but then Casey comes in and she's like, "Oh, fuck you and my 4 fucking jobs."
Yeah, I know. I feel pretty bad. Like, I took a day off today and I felt guilty about it.
You
To
should.
be fair, it's
Mom.
only 3. It's
Only 3,
guys.
I haven't had 3 jobs in the last 2 years, and you currently have 3 jobs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
real quick, my puppy, my wife was having a bad go of things sometime in the middle of last week, and he was being, you've met Cooper, he's nuts, he's the best kind of crazy, and he was being crazy, and my wife had just kind of had enough of it, and she's like, "Hey, dude, go to the kennel." And he looked at her, he stopped everything he was doing, he tilted his head sideways, took a shit in the middle of the floor, and then put himself in the kennel. Damn,
Fireteam Designs. It's
our
sponsor.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're awesome.
And those guys would have thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, those guys would have thought that was super funny. Along with that segue.
Yeah.
So
go to Fireteam Designs, check their shit out.
Yeah. They'll make you things. Good things. T-shirts, hoodies, tumblers. They'll make you branded stickers. They'll make you bottle openers out of 50 cal bullets. It's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's radical.
Awesome. Those guys, if you haven't checked it out, a few weeks ago we had those guys on, and they're awesome guys. They're super down to earth, and we're very proud to be teamed up with them. So if you would do us a solid, go over to Fireteam Designs, help out a veteran business. Anything else, Mike?
They hate child molesters, and so do we.
Yeah.
And you can go ahead and donate to Operation Wolf Eyes while you're on the website. They offer family services to victims of abuse. They also go after child molesters online. It's pretty fucking cool. They're awesome.
It's like To Catch a Predator, but you get United States Marines. It's a bad fucking day for whoever's doing this shit.
Bad day.
Yeah. So, with that being said...
But a good day for America.
Right. So, fireteamdesigns.com.
Fireteamdesigns.com.
Let's move into the show now.
.com.
You're going to start that shit again?
Don't forget the .com.
Yeah.
Like the part.
Okay, cool. So, go over there.
What shit are we talking this week, boys?
Yeah, go over there. Tell them we sent you. You'll get a discount. They're awesome. Let's move into the show. Mike, you look like you have something that you want to say so bad.
No, I'm good. I want to hear what Casey wants to talk about this week.
I mean, there's plenty of fuckery afoot, so let's pick some. How about Biden not addressing the nation? Why don't we start out with that? Because he's the first president in over 100 fucking years to not do so.
Well, he's also the first president in 100 years that should be in fucking assisted living, but here we are.
Or a prison, but okay, that's fair.
Okay, explain the prison thing.
What do you mean explain? Ukraine? Hello? Among other things. Dude's an asshole. What do you mean?
Well, okay, so here's what you need to understand, right? Nixon did not go to prison. Bill Clinton sold fucking nuclear secrets to China. He didn't go to prison. What makes you think this is going to change anything? Because it's not. I mean, they are the elite. They're going to do whatever the fuck they want.
Good attitude to have, though. Real good attitude to have. That's why we're in this position.
I'm not proud of it. All I'm saying is, let's be realistic here. Like, them fucking guys don't go to jail. That's reserved for the lowly fucks like me and you.
That's true. That's fair.
So, my son asked me before we started this podcast, He said, "Are you happy that Donald Trump isn't the president anymore?" And I said, "I don't know. How do you feel?" And my son was like, "Yeah, I am." I'm like, he's like, "Are you happy that Joe Biden is the president?" And I was like, "I don't know. How do you feel?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm okay with that." I'm like, honestly, I don't really care who the president is. I think the president has too much power. And then I explained to him that I think if you have any one person with the amount of power that a modern president has, that person is far more corruptible than is Congress. Congress is who should have far more power than any one president, but in modern times, that's not the case because the president is the sole representative of the elite in this country.
Can I stop you there real quick, bud?
Yeah.
Because I need to remind you that Congress is plenty fucking corrupt, bud.
Congress is plenty corrupt, right? But let me ask you a question. Let's say that I wanted to get something done, right? Let's say that I'm a weapons manufacturer and I want to sell a whole bunch of weapons to the U.S. government. Is it easier to bribe one guy, or is it easier to bribe a few hundred people? Or let's just say a majority of Congress.
Well,
I think it's easier to bribe the one asshole.
right. And that's a fact. But I think that when you look at where the country has gone, most as of recent, I think the corruption, the internet has really fucked these people over because now your shit's out there on Front Street. So it's getting harder to be corrupt, but now the level of corruption is getting absolutely nuts. Like this shit would make 1970s mob bosses fucking blush.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that, Casey?
I agree. I don't really have much to add. You said it pretty well.
Cool, thank you. Anyway, continue with your previous point.
My point is that we spend a lot of time talking about presidents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy. Yeah, I mean, really, like, I don't give a fuck who the president is. Honestly. Like, I just don't care that much. Yeah, he controls one branch of government, but that branch of government is overblown as fuck, man. Like, the fact that the president carries so much fucking weight is ridiculous. And it only happens because Congress people are too fucking scared to make a decision because they wouldn't want to upset one half of their fucking electorate.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but, it is what it is, though, man. People are, they want to have a face to blame or a face to praise. That's what it comes down to.
You're absolutely right. I mean, at this point, why don't we just have a monarchy so at least whatever cockbag we put in there can't actually fuck things up?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Cockbag?
why don't you
That's
go?
new.
Yeah. Fire
Do
Team
you like
Designs,
that?
We're gonna put that on a cup. We're gonna put cockbag next to Flex Nuts on a cup.
Oh no, we're back to this. Back
Yeah.
to putting dicks and shit on merch. Oh Lord.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like obscenity, I like making my own obscenities. I think it's more fun and unique.
Well, I mean, if you think
I'm
about
down with-
just like, but let's just think about, let's break that word down. Say cockbag, right? So it's a bag of cock.
It's a condom. He's a used condom.
That's disgusting.
Have
Okay,
you
cool.
ever seen how sad and pathetic a used
Let's
condom is?
just move right past this.
I have a question.
Go.
Question. All jokes
shit.
aside. All right. So when your son approached you asking you if you were happy that Donald Trump is no longer president, may I ask you why? Given
Why?
the last few weeks, I mean,
Why did he ask?
how can
you
that be your? No, not why he asked you that. Why do you not care essentially? Trump not being in office, or what makes you okay with that he's not president? What do you think Biden offers that Trump didn't?
I don't think either of them offered anything. I mean, Trump,
What?
with all of his fucking, with all of his rhetoric, he didn't really stand on shit. He didn't even support his own supporters.
Are we going to go down this fucking road?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go down this road. He didn't even support his own supporters.
How? Make me understand. Hold up. All right, so let's say theoretically there's 70 plus million of us, right? How the fuck did Donald Trump not support his supporters for 4 years? Put us first, foreign policy, everything across the board. Now you got fucking bumbly fuck Biden in office who ain't doing dick. Insulin has skyrocketed. We're at war with Syria. Okay. Oh, God forbid he addresses the nation, which is what, his fucking job. How is this any better, boys? I'll wait.
You don't have to wait because I don't disagree with anything you just said.
Okay,
I'm just not as angry as you.
All right.
I'm pretty angry today, guys. Can't lie. Watching my country swirl the drain, I'm kind of mad.
All right. I'm gonna say that he didn't really do shit with China. Like, yeah, he fucking started a fucking quote unquote trade war. But like, fell on it as soon as it fucking got rough. As soon as shit got rough, he didn't really say shit about the fucking, execution squads in fucking China. He didn't really say shit about. He didn't do anything to my thinking. Like, even like if you look at the wall, man, he broke weak on that shit. He goes to fucking shut down the government for fucking months. And then ends up breaking weak. He broke weak every fucking time. There's not one thing that he said he was going to do that he didn't fucking break weak on.
Explain what break weak means, bro. I have no fucking clue what this
fuckery is. By break weak, what I mean is, so the government shut down for what, like a month and a half?
Yeah.
Because we can't get funding for a border wall, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't have the balls to fucking see it through. He fucking opened it back up before he wanted to fucking get actual funding for a border wall.
You mean the same wall that Biden just acts like we no longer have in our country? You're cool with that? In fact, illegals just coming in, doing what they want, getting stimulus checks.
I'm not saying I think Biden's better. I just don't think the country's better off now than it was 4 years ago or 5 years ago, whatever it fucking was. I mean, yeah, I understand COVID happened, but like, even there, man, like, it's just mask mandate, fucking. I think, all right, you know what I think Trump did really fucking well is Operation Warp Speed. I think a lot of the things that happened undercover with Trump were great. And you know what? I think that Obama was an ineffective president because he couldn't communicate with Democrats. And I've said that a number of times. Am I right, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
I've said that a number of times. That's my position on Obama, is that he wasn't a good president because he couldn't communicate or get things done with Republicans.
Because he's a puss.
If I'm going to say that about Obama, I have to say the same thing about Trump. He couldn't communicate or get things done with Democrats, and I'm not saying that that was necessarily his fault. I think that was mostly Democrats.
Right.
Okay.
But he was ineffectual, is my point. Like, I don't think it's a better country as a result of his presidency.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll never know because we don't know what would have happened if Hillary had taken the reins. It would have just been fucking Joe Biden part 1. We don't know what would have happened.
I don't know, man. Like, I think we're heading towards a more transparent government because the corruption is so in your face.
Yeah.
Like, and there's another thing that Trump did that I think is an underrated thing that Trump did. I think that he was so new to politics that even the things that he did were bullshit. He didn't hide them well. Like when he said, I'm not going to do anything to Saudi. I'm not going to levy any kind of punishment on Saudi Arabia after they kill a fucking U.S. journalist. in a Saudi embassy in fucking Turkey. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna levy
by
any
the way,
punishment.
ordered by the fucking government to do
Right.
so.
Exactly. I'm not gonna do anything about that because we sell Saudi Arabia a lot of guns. And if we don't do it, China's gonna do it. So I'm not gonna leave billions of dollars on the table, stupid. That's almost word for word what he said.
Well, I mean, at least he was honest about it. I mean, most people would be like, "This is a tragedy," and then they'll make a fucking phone call to Saudi Arabia, like, "Hey, bro, we still have the deal, right?"
Yeah,
at least he was real.
Point, man.
Yeah.
All right, so where do we go from here? Do we watch our government become more transparent? I mean, do we just endure this and just say like it's going to be okay? Because in like 53 days or so, I mean, I'm not really seeing how we're going to have 4 years, much less 6 more months of this.
Well,
I think the backlash is coming. I mean, don't you?
it has to be, dude. I mean, it's getting to the point where, like, even the liberals are looking at the Biden administration. There was an article that I read a while back, and there was this shit going around, and it was basically like hashtag regret Biden, and it's like staunch ass fucking liberals saying like, we really regret voting for this fucking guy.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Casey?
When you go with your feelings, that's how that happens. When you absolutely hate someone because they had mean tweets and you didn't like their whatever you want to call it, their modicum of decency or lack thereof to the liberals, you start voting reckless and you believe Orange Man's bad, and then you implement this asshole who has done literally less than nothing. Nothing, not one positive move has been made. I mean, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me, but I just don't see what he's done in 50 some days that makes me look forward to 6 more days, 6 more months, 4 years, whatever the case may be. I think we are totally screwed. But when are the people going to rise up and say, you know what, enough of this, let's limit the government to their original size and intent and, get our country back, because this isn't the America that I was born into.
What have I been saying? This is my whole point. I love that Joe Biden's in there. He's the perfect centrist fucking shill, so that the fucking left, the far left, and the far right can come together and hate the center, because the center is what is the representative of the elite in this country.
Okay,
and
that
fuck
idea is
those
a good
fucks.
one. That idea is a good one. But how much time do we have to sit back and allow that to unravel? Because he's passing all kinds of shit, especially gun bills that I'm not a fan of. I mean, this has gotten ridiculous.
All right, come take my gun. That's what most Americans think. If you're an American right now and you're in the middle class, good luck. Come take my shit. See what happens. That's how I feel.
If they come for the guns, they're going to get the bullets first. That's the rhetoric around here anyway. Like,
yeah.
And I hate to come off as
people in this country voted for Trump. You think those people are going to sleep on fucking gun takeaways?
Let me real quick. Let me preface this with the amount of guns that are in the United States, which is just the number. I wish we could put a physical number on the amount of privately owned firearms in this country, because the numbers don't fucking match. Because there's no way only Republicans, only conservatives are gun owners. There's no fucking way.
Yeah. Of course
So
not.
there has to be liberal gun owners that are like proud fucking gun owners. Like, you ain't taking my shit. I don't care what fucking side you're on. So that's not just a conservative
anarchist gun owners.
Don't say that shit.
There's plenty of fucking anarchist gun owners out there. They're the ones that are making their own shit.
Oh yeah, there's a whole fucking thing that we talked about, ghost guns, where they're making them out of fucking 3D printers and shit.
Yeah, that's the fucking anarchist, man. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys see that Jerry Wayne's coming out with an AR-14?
Oh yeah, I've already seen them. They're in gun stores around here. True story.
Really?
Yeah, I almost bought it. It was only a 22 though, so I was like, fuck it.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, Jerry Wayne, for those of you who don't know, is he's actually a good friend to the show, and we should probably try to get him back on sometime. But that dude is fucking hustling right now, though, dude. He is everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna shut my door real quick because I got my dog whining his ass off about something.
All right. Here's the thing, man. centrism doesn't make sense. Centrism is just fucking fodder for the elite. It's just a way for the elite to benefit off of everybody else. You know, like, here's something I want you guys to think about. You have, in this country, you have a number of systems that have taken advantage of not only the middle class, but also the poor in this country. So you have the Department of Education fucking us over in terms of the cost of higher education. You have illegal immigration that has fucked up the labor market in this country. You have free and regulated trade with China and NAFTA that have fucked the labor market in this country. I could go on and on and on all fucking day. The endless fucking wars in the Middle East, they are all of these policies are an indictment of centrist government, right? And eventually the left and the right are going to come together and say, fuck you. That's why I like Biden.
But when? Because, like, here's the thing. I'm not...
It's happening, my friend.
Is it? They need to speed this shit up, bro.
Look at the internet, man. It's happening. It's happening when you have people on the internet like Casey over here, who is, if I'm not mistaken, a fairly far-right person, right? Who gets along with far-left people because they have something to get along about.
Fair.
Yeah. And also because I'm not, national, but...
Yeah. You don't. But you guys both hate Joe Biden. That's
fair.
Joe Biden is this cog in a fucking wheel that you guys can both cling to.
So, to wrap this segment up, Trump 2024, yay or nay?
Yay.
Nay.
Make America great again. It's going to happen, man.
All right, you know what? If he says some shit like that, it's going to be hard for me to say nay, bro.
Yeah.
All right, to be honest, I'm going to miss the comedy of Trump. I really just want to read, I wish they'd let Trump back on Twitter just so I could fucking read him.
Think about what you just said. Can we pause on that? Let Trump back on Twitter. What the fuck are we doing here, guys? In and of itself is without government. Let's take the government out of it real quick. A man who was fucking president, they tried to impeach as a private citizen and then bumped his ass off of Twitter. We've lost the cart, boys. I feel like you're fucking crazy pills.
The caveat on that, I was fucking around on Instagram a while back, and I came across, I think it's Tiffany Trump. I came across her shit somehow, and, I kind of looked into it. And there's a picture of her standing next to Barron Trump. It was like, happy birthday to the best little brother ever. A very, very sweet photo of older sister, little brother. And then I got into the fucking comments. There was this fucking Karen. This family is the biggest mistake this country's ever made. And I was like, oh, that's the biggest fucking mistake we've ever made? That's the one, huh? Slavery? That comes fucking second to this? The internment of Japanese Americans during World War II? That fucking falls lower than this? Are you
the Iraq War?
Yeah.
The Vietnam War?
We dropped 2 nukes. Not that I'm kind of cool with it.
That wasn't a mistake. That was on purpose, and that was a good idea.
Thing is, here's the thing, though. I don't disagree with that. But at the end of the day, we were the first nation to drop a nuke, and then we fucking did it again 3 days later, and the fucking damage was just insane, right? And there was another strike package inbound if these fuckheads didn't surrender, and they're like, "Oh, we should probably just fuck right off." So that's
all
why
I'm gonna say
surrendered.
about that is we haven't had to drop one since.
Nobody else has either. Yeah, nobody else has either. But I mean, what I'm getting at is these suburban white bitches that drive their fucking Sebrings are over here talking all this shit. This guy is the biggest mistake this country's ever made. Like, you don't fucking know your history, then, do you?
Wait. 1 second.
What's wrong with the Sebring? Is that what you're about to say?
So a Chrysler Sebring, that's your fucking status symbol for middle class white women? What are you? What 2003?
If you want it to be whatever you want it to be. I was actually trying to say the Chrysler Town and Country, that badass minivan. That's a little bit more fitting. Those things are sweet.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move right
you
the
mean
fuck on
a shitty
past.
mid-sized sedan? That's what Karens are driving?
No, the convertible version, bro. She ain't no basic bitch.
So real estate women.
Lord.
That's
Jesus Christ. We're fucking 30 minutes in and I'm out of alcohol. That's not good. Anyway, okay, keep going.
I'm pretty sure you're on a mobile phone. So
Yeah, but the thing is, like, my feet hurt, hardwood floors and all. And my wife has the TV up, and on top of that, I have huskies, and they're pretty fucking vocal. So for me to go my ass downstairs to get this situation fixed, there's a lot of noise involved, and I don't want to do that to our listeners because I care. Now go to Fire Team Designs and buy some shit. What'd you say?
You guys solve that problem? You put a bottle in your room.
Yeah. You see, I don't want to do that because I know what will happen. I have to work tomorrow. Because I don't know. So this is a pretty heated conversation for all intents and purposes.
all of mine are empty.
Well, that's because you have a problem. You're going to go to a meeting after this, or? No, not looking.
Meetings are for quitters.
A meeting at the liquor store, maybe. But all right, so let's move on. What else did you guys want to discuss this week?
Well, it's the stimulus checks. Why are they going into the wrong accounts?
Yeah, I actually, she was asking that. I guess some of the IRA, the stimulus checks, some of them are actually hitting the wrong accounts.
Interesting.
Yeah, and how are people getting a stimulus check without a social security number?
Democrats, that's how.
I wish it would hit my account twice.
Fair.
Well, I wish it wouldn't hit my account at all because it won't fucking, my taxes aren't going to fucking get any better over it. I'm already paying out the ass in taxes.
Well, no, it's not.
Yeah,
you don't get taxed over it.
Yeah, but ultimately they're going to raise taxes because of it.
You're not wrong there.
They're going to raise my non-existent children's taxes over this shit.
Yeah, I think they justified some bullshit today as like the climate change, all their pet projects with that.
You know what? I'm actually kind of proud of Joe Biden today.
Shut up.
Well, no.
Oh my God.
I'm kind of proud of him doing a $2.2 trillion over 10-year tax raise. You know, I realize that it's not popular to raise taxes, but if you're going to give Americans $1.9 trillion... No,
you're not. You're giving fucking Americans like maybe a fucking fifth of that. You're giving the rest of it to your homies. That's what's happening.
Wait. Can we pause real quick?
Yeah.
$1.9 trillion. All right, let's break this down for real quick. We are getting 9% of that. And when you get your little stimulus check, which will still be signed by Donald J. Trump, FYI, that equates to $3.80 a day, my guys. So I'm not good with that. And then you want to raise my taxes for some shit? You can kiss my plus size ass. It's not happening. I'm not paying tax. Taxation is theft, by the way, without representation. There's my piece.
Taxation is theft. I'm down with that. What I'm saying is, at least we're not being ran by someone who's like a modern monetary theorist and doesn't believe in tax and spend. You know, like, I don't want my taxes to go up, but like, there's a part of me that respects the balls of someone who's going to raise the taxes to fucking pay for the fucking money that he just spent. I'm just saying, you know, it can't go all on fucking credit. I don't think anyone should get anything.
I agree.
I think I don't think we should spend.
Go ahead.
I don't think we should spend a fucking quarter of what we spend. I think we should cut defense spending by half. I think we should cut welfare spending by 75%, and fuck everybody. But
I want to cut our fucking
spend
foreign
money.
aid budget. That's ridiculous. Like,
oh yeah,
for example,
I mean,
we
our
gave
foreign
Yemen.
aid budget is not ridiculous.
Oh
our
yeah,
foreign aid budget is very small compared to everything else. You should look it up.
Okay, all I'm saying is, okay, we spent $625 million. We sent that to Yemen last year. Now, what in the fuck is Yemen ever going to do for the United States? Name one thing.
Not shit.
Like?
Nothing.
So fuck them. What's wrong with that?
Agree. Right, like, I agree with that, but all right, so I think this is one of the things that conservatives get stuck on that isn't really... It's like, you know how Democrats get stuck on, like, private prisons, but private prisons really don't make up any part of the prison system, like, compared to everything else?
3.7%, I believe.
Right. I think Republicans get stuck on foreign spending because it's sexy, and they don't. And it's like no money. It's like not a lot of money.
Okay, all I'm saying is this.
Foreign aid.
If we spent all this fucking money that we're sending to these foreign countries, and then we cut our defense budget, and then we stop giving shit away to every fucking body who just refused to get a job, there's no reason that Americans, every single one of us, shouldn't be a fucking millionaire. Am I wrong here?
So, what I'm hearing from you right now is that you're a socialist.
Fuck you. All I'm saying is, if you're going to give the shit away, at least give it to the people who are paying in.
You're fucking right. This is all right. So this was going to be. So I really wanted this podcast to be my defense of fucking democratic socialism.
Oh, fuck you, for starters.
I know.
All the way around, yeah.
I know. Go ahead.
Casey, you want to just start our own podcast and say, fuck this dude?
Yeah, we're breaking up with you, Mike. That's it. It's over.
Yeah,
we had a good run to it.
Like 20 years of friendship, fucking over, my friend.
Can I just say, Mike, I have a question. With your magnificent mind, why did we give Pakistan, how much did we give them? Some fucking ridiculous...
$935 million.
For gender studies, bro. Say what?
I agree. But really, I think a lot of that money is just a ploy so we don't talk about the things that are really corrupt.
Oh.
I honestly think that a lot of that money that goes to foreign aid for stupid shit is just kind of like a little bit of a fucking false flag operation for the things that you should really be pissed off about. When you spend $1.9 trillion, that's a lot of fucking money to disappear.
I just real quick, do you actually think any of that fucking 900-some million is gonna go to actual gender? Because here's the thing, gender study, that's not my fucking thing. As far as I'm concerned, pull your little testosterone up and I'll tell you if you have a PP or not. Real fucking simple. However, Pakistan is about as corrupt as they fucking get, and that money is just padding the pockets of generals and world leaders and a bunch of Al-Qaeda sympathizing fucks. So why the fuck will we give that kind of money away? Give it if you want to give it to somebody. Give it to me.
I don't know what that money is going to, but I know that it's not going to gender studies.
And I've never gotten in my life.
I would be interested to hear what it actually went to.
So would I, and I think so would the American people. It's a fucking insult. And when you label it under a COVID relief bill, and then you want to talk about stimulus checks that you can't even allocate into the right fucking accounts. You know what the best stimulus check is? A fucking paycheck. Open the country up. Stop playing with the Karens of the populace wearing a mask and shutting the shit down for a fucking head cold. Not sorry.
Nor should you be.
God, I like you today, Casey.
Yeah, you're awesome when you're pissed off. I should just get both of you equally pissed off and just like sit back in the fucking shadows and just watch some shit ensue. We might do that next week.
You know, I was such a loudmouth cunt on the last fucking podcast
Yeah, you were.
that I'm trying really hard to just be like not super fucking overbearing.
Oh,
This
by the way,
podcast.
have you guys fucking read the comments on that last show? That dude is apparently quite hated.
I hear he drives for Uber.
I don't know.
I heard a few things. I heard that he didn't get fired because of a tweet. He got fired because he sucked at his job. But like, you got to remember, it's the internet, and people are paid to be trolls. So there's that.
That's true. Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is it wasn't my favorite episode ever. Not gonna
That's
lie.
because fucking
But,
you said all of like 24 words. But here's the thing. Let's get back on track here. When it goes back to like fucking Joe Biden and foreign aid and all that shit, I find it absolutely, as a pipeliner, I find it absolutely insulting that he killed Keystone and several other pipelines. A lot of my friends are out of jobs.
But you can just go get other jobs, they said. Remember that line?
Well,
It was real
yeah, but
learn to code.
Yeah, fuck that. Anyway, easy, gang. But here's what I will say.
Dude.
When Joe Biden is actively pushing to build a pipeline through fucking Afghanistan, but he's killing his own pipelines, just take a left turn and go fuck yourself there, Mr. Biden. Dude, that pissed me off so bad when I heard that. I was like, you ever been pissed off to the point where you were just shaking from reading something?
Mm-hmm.
I was right there. He fucked over no less than 100,000 people that voted for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the pipeline guys backed Biden.
Well, the union guys did. I 798, we're riding with Biden. And then when he told you during the campaign he was going to cancel this pipeline. So before 798 president, we're going to roll with Biden. After post-election, he's killing the pipeline. Me, don't cry now, faggot. Like, sorry. I mean, I probably shouldn't have said that last part, but
fuck that. Say what you want. Fuck that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
All right.
Anyway.
So I was gonna talk about what you just said, Joe, before, right?
What was
you
that?
Just said if they're gonna spend all of these $1 billion on money that goes abroad, why don't they spend all that money here at home?
Yeah, the VA has a problem. They could use some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing. This is my handout to the left, right? This is my handout trying to shake your hand a little bit to the left, right? How do you justify spending $50 billion on defense?
Something like that. 983, I believe.
And then billions and billions of dollars on foreign aid. And yet you can't get your own shit together domestically.
Yep.
Like, how is that? And, if that's the case, like, why isn't UBI a good idea? Why isn't, healthcare for Americans a good idea?
Let me ask you this, right? So when you say healthcare for Americans and UBI, Universal Basic Income, when you take that, is welfare still an option?
No.
Okay.
You don't need welfare if UBI is on the table.
But let me ask you the second part to that, or not really ask you so much as tell you. Unfortunately, America, as much as I love America and Americans, we may be the most entitled people on the planet. So if you were to give $100 or $1,000 a month to every single adult in this country, the next question is, well, how come it's not 2,000? That's the reality.
And my answer is, how come it's not 2,000? Like that was
an example. If it was 2,000, how come it's not 4,000? How come it's not 5,000? How come we're not all fucking instant millionaires?
Well, because there's realities. But as long as, all right, look, here's my you got me to my key point pretty quick here.
Mm-hmm.
For the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 decades, there's a group of people in this country who have been benefiting off of the backs of regular Americans. All of the people that benefited off of the education scam in this country, all of the people that benefited off of illegal immigration in this country, all of the people that benefited off of regular trade with China, off of NAFTA, all of those people that benefited off of bribing our public officials, right? They didn't fucking they didn't pump that money back into the economy. They didn't give that money, they didn't redistribute any of that wealth. They fucking kept it. And that's why you have a Jeff Bezos. That's why you have a fucking Elon Musk. That's why you have a fucking Bill Gates.
In fairness to Elon Musk, I want to mention this real quick. In fairness to Elon Musk, because I admire that dude. Here's what I wanted to say about Elon Musk. Of all of the people that you mentioned, I think that fucking guy would go broke as long as he just reserves the right to be an innovator.
You're right.
He wouldn't take a dime. So I don't.
Yeah, a lot of those people spend money better than us. Right?
Right.
They do. But there's plenty of fucking people out there that are fucking rent-seeker billionaires. And by rent-seeking, what I mean is they don't really contribute anything to the people. They just fucking collect and sit on fucking money because they know how to and they can.
Well, when you speak of Jeff Bezos, what he does with his shit, in order for him to look like he's giving back to the community, he puts out these fucking woke ass, incentives or whatever that benefit fucking a very small amount of people. But he gets mass exposure for it, right?
You're right. The woke left is not the real left. That's maybe my biggest point here, is that the woke left is really just the corporatist, elite, centrist fucking group of Americans. It's really just the Jeff Bezoses of America. It's not the fucking real left that is like, fuck you, pay me.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, let's be real though. I mean, when you look at fucking Zuckerberg and all those douchebags, all the Silicon Valley billionaires, are they really leftists?
No, they're not really leftists, but they're woke leftists. Like, they're all woke. Like, but all of those people are just saying it's cheaper for me to say, oh, fuck you, white guy, than it is for me to, like, actually fucking take care of the fucking people that are in need in this country. Like, it's easier for me to be a fake leftist than it is for me to be a real leftist and actually care about labor rights.
Fair, yeah.
Fair.
Okay,
right. So that's my argument for democratic socialism. That's my argument for, like, the Andrew Yangs of America.
Okay, let me. What are your thoughts on welfare? And now I understand that welfare exists for a reason. Not everybody has it as well as you, I, or Casey, right? Because it has to exist for a fucking reason. People come on hard times, and I'm completely fucking okay with somebody reaching out and getting a hand up. My biggest issue is, okay, I'll give you a great example. The other day, I drove past a housing project in a town not far from mine. I drove through, and of these dilapidated fucking spaces that these people call home, sadly, I counted, of 12 units, I counted 4 satellite dishes. Are you fucking serious? Are you that broke? Because you know what satellite dish is? That's a luxury item.
True.
My thing with welfare is that welfare, like housing projects and like huge urban center fucking areas, are really just super reservations. I think the American center learned that they could control and manipulate voters and people by giving them free money a long time ago. And they give them just enough to live, and they don't give them enough or give them the right tools
to break free of it, right?
To break free of the system. They give them just enough to subsist within the system, and that's what's bullshit.
Well, I think what's bullshit is there's a dude milking the government, but he has a satellite dish and a goddamn BMW
in the driveway, right?
Yeah.
All right, look, man.
I
That
think it
guy,
also becomes
that
an
guy
issue
sells
of
drugs.
one program becomes another program. Like once you see that you can get your WIC check or your food stamps, you see how that goes, and then you're like, oh well, shit, let me move on to the next thing. Then you get the state medical care or whatever, and then it just keeps going.
Well,
No,
furthermore,
no
I believe the system as it stands breeds poverty because like you have these kids growing up in this system. It's like, well, mom and dad never did a goddamn thing. Why would I ever attempt to go get a fucking job
Also,
if... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're building the perfect storm because you're giving the parents and those to keep the household intact, or I mean, if that's what we're going to call it, some aren't, but okay. Then you have the education system that's failing everyone. You have piss poor moral people running around with broken moral compasses. It's the perfect mixture. And the government is now in these areas like education and the national narrative. You got the media spewing their bullshit, and it keeps bolstering their actions. So it's like running on a fucking wheel. We're not going to get away from it if you don't.
I have something to add here, right? Mm-hmm. So you just take a whole bunch of people, you teach them how to manipulate the system so that they can basically earn a living for the rest of their life off of the government, off of taxpayers without fucking working, just by learning how to navigate a bureaucratic system, right? Mm-hmm. Then you fucking introduce drugs to that, which creates a whole underground fucking economy, and then you fucking over police it, so that community, so that you can put a lot of those fucking people in jail and create jobs for middle class people. I'm just saying that it seems like a really good fucking system if you want to control a whole group of people and take them off the fucking count and create a whole bunch of fucking voters because basically they depend on you to fucking survive. And then at the same time, you bring in an illegal workforce that's able to fucking work for way less fucking money than any fucking American, right? And all of your friends fucking benefit. And the only people that really don't benefit from this system are the poor people that you're oppressing and the middle class that you're taxing to death.
Yeah.
Well, that's all well said. I mean, so the solution, is there one? Because this system has been in place for a very long time. And that shit does not change overnight.
First, you have to open the eyes of the people who are dependent upon said system and make them realize that they themselves can reach and do better. But in order to do that, we have to stop, this vitriol between the people making each other enemies and realize that point. But sadly, like I said, we're in the middle of the perfect fucking storm to control the populace, dumb them down, make them complacent. And like you said earlier, we are a very entitled nation. It's not like when I was a kid. I see kids now that knew you work for what you want, you try hard, you study to get good grades. Nowadays, it's all ass backwards.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and I think a lot of that shit is these people that students, they go to all these these colleges and shit, and they meet these fucking professors, and your entire life growing up, teachers and in school, they were authoritarian figures, correct?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got this fuckhead with a PhD behind his name throwing you all of these ideas. No, well, he's a professor. He's smarter than I. So you begin to embrace those ideas. And that's not exactly acceptable either, because that's where we're really that's where we're really failing. Is the smartest thing that the left ever did was take over academia. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody.
Well, again, I'm not going to say that that's the left. I'm going to say that that's the center. That's all right. You tell me. Is the New York Times, is that really the left? Are they left of center, or are they just the center? Is that the fucking same? That's the elite. That's not the left. To me, the left is a bunch of fucking like anarchists. That's the left. The left is like fuck everybody. The
me,
center,
right? But me and mine, correct.
All right, so CNN, Joe Biden, and the New York Times, you tell me they're not all on the same fucking team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's not the left. That's the center.
Well,
you know why? Because their
being the
best
center
friend is Jeff Bezos. That's why.
for them being the center, I have to tell you, they're awful fucking left in their views. Donald Trump couldn't get a fucking positive publicity stunt, period, from any of those sources the entire time he was in office. So you tell me that they're center and I'll kiss your ass.
You know why he couldn't get a fucking word in edgewise? It was because he actually fucking said, let's bring fucking factories into those poor areas.
Yeah.
Let's bring them jobs. Let's do all this shit. Right? Like, that's what he was fucking saying. And the entire center just said, fuck you, man. You don't understand the fucking trap that we fucking spent 100 goddamn years building for these fucking people. You want to just let them out of fucking poverty? Fuck you.
But when you say it like that, it's so hard for me to believe that Biden was your guy in 2020. I don't understand that because you're a rational fucking person.
I am a fucking radical person, right?
No, you're a rational person, typically.
Yeah, I am. You're right. But I don't think that fucking Trump, right, was the guy that was going to communicate to all these other people about what was going on.
Well, the problem with Trump is that everything that he did that was good, he would always spin it to make it about him. That's where he fucked up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was a fucking terrible human being.
If you think that Joe Biden wouldn't spin shit to be about him if he wasn't mentally vacant right now, I got a bridge to sell you guys. He's a fucking asshole. It's always been about Biden.
I totally agree. But in the age of the internet, I don't think Joe Biden can effectively communicate the fucking elitist message.
No, he can't. North Korea, even North Korea won't answer this dude. The elites won't answer this dude. The American populace doesn't want to answer this dude. It's a fucking joke, guys.
He is a joke. That's my whole point.
But you voted for a joke, bro.
I know. I absolutely did.
But Casey, in fairness, Casey, in fairness, a lot of people could say that we also voted for a joke.
But okay, look at the last 4 years versus these 50 fucking some days. Who's the bigger?
I don't disagree with you.
You got a man who spent 4 years. Okay, he offended a couple people. He was a little orange at times. Great, that's wonderful. But look at what we're doing now. We're 50 days in, plus we got executive orders out the ass and all the other shit I've already rambled off about. Like, I'm sorry, I failed to see how, because we didn't like Trump, or the way that he spoke to people, or how he made it about himself. I mean, come off it, y'all. We have a government to run, not a feeling factory. I don't give a fuck what you don't like how it's said, okay? At the end of the day, we're people who bleed for this country. We're people who wake up and we say, you know what? We're going to do the best thing for our country and our own and keep our shit in our own houses. But now everything hinders on fucking feelings. Guess what? I guess I'm a fucking ice queen. I don't give a shit about your feelings. And Joe Biden is not going to give you whatever you're looking for. And that's for anybody. I tried to be impartial. I tried to see the good that could come from this tenure. Nothing. Fucking nothing. And then if we lose him and Kamalama fucking asshole takes place, are you kidding me?
Say that one more time. Kamalama asshole?
Yeah, I usually call her Kamalama Ding Dong, but I'm not drunk enough yet to get there. So anyway, she was.
You might be out. She's my new best friend. That was fucking great.
All right, well, that'll work because we're still breaking up with Mike. She was a failed senator, a failed fucking prosecutor, and now we got her walking around giggling at everything that's not even funny. And then did you get a load of Nancy Pelosi in her fucking comment? She says she has the balls to address the American people and say, oh, we inherited the border crisis. Are you fucking kidding me? They're rolling up in Biden T-shirts, but you want to blame Trump? Get the fuck back on your horse and ride off to your fucking fridge, you drunkard. I'm over this shit. I don't give a shit about your feelings or Joe Biden. Finn.
That a girl. Proud of you. Love you.
America.
Right?
Fuck. Mike, we should just let her go off for like a whole fucking hour next week.
Agreed.
You down?
You guys, another thing. You want to talk about frivolous spending? Let's get into my favorite categorical fuck up from this week: the George Floyd trial. We're gonna give them $27 million because the dude overdosed on fentanyl, and we're gonna have to pay for that.
Let's be real. We've been over this time and time again. The dude was all fucked up on fentanyl. That's been proven. But again, having a law enforcement background, I think Darren Chauvin's a fuckhead. Absolute fuckhead. And I hope he fucking hangs. Yeah.
Okay, but there's an autopsy report, right? No laryngeal structure damage, no abrasions to the skin, scalp, or face. So riddle me this, Batman. If he kneeled on your fucking back for 9 minutes, you're going to have no exterior damage to your skin or debris?
Well, my biggest thing is, first of all, he was a fuckhead about the whole thing because there's not one defensive tactic taught by any fucking law enforcement agency, probably in the world, that requires you to put your goddamn hands in your pocket. Mike,
that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to... I would be a liar if I said that in the capacity of law enforcement, I haven't kneeled on someone's neck, at least by accident.
Oh, I know I have. But the difference is it wasn't for 9 fucking minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't for 9 fucking minutes. It was like oh shit, I'm on this guy's neck.
Yeah, it was like, okay, cool, put it on his back. That's a little bit safer. I get it. I've been there. We've all have. Anybody who's ever been in a situation that requires the detainment of another human being, you have definitely done something to somebody's neck, whether it be a fucking chokehold. I'm not gonna go into stories, but I've seen the fucking chokehold you're capable of. They're pretty fucking gnarly, but all I'm saying is,
I'm a big believer in the chokehold, and I'll defend it to the death.
Oh yeah, I'll die on that fucking hill. I mean, because here's the thing: if you can't breathe, you can't fucking fight.
Student.
Oh yeah, that was
in a law enforcement capacity on purpose. And you know what? I'll contend that a chokehold is more effective and better than hitting someone in the face or the head.
Right. The difference is you're trained and you know once you gain compliance, okay, ease up a little bit, but don't completely ease up because dude could always lose his shit, right?
That being said, no one in the fucking world would kneel on someone's neck for 9 fucking minutes with your hands in your pocket like an asshole. Right. And like ever.
Don't get me wrong.
Terrible idea.
I'm not insensitive. I'm not insensitive to her argument here. $27 million for a fucking dopehead. I'm sorry that loss of life happened. I am. That being said, there was wrong done on both ends. But what really disturbs me about this was the Breonna Taylor protest that took place recently, where law enforcement was basically just everybody was in the same boat on that deal. Like, you wear a badge, you're fucked. That was kind of the rhetoric there. That I am a little bit irritated about. Absolutely irritated about. I have friends of mine who are law enforcement officials. You know, I think we all do. Shout out to our dude in Portland. That being said, it's fucking absolutely sad that loss of life had to happen, and unfortunately they're going after second degree murder charges, and that dude's gonna fucking walk. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's gonna walk.
Agreed.
They just added a third degree murder charge.
They what?
Yeah, they added a third degree murder charge, and I'm happy they did because I don't think he's gonna walk from that. And you know, in my opinion, this is the worst fucking year for law enforcement ever. Like,
oh, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I had friends of mine that are KCPD.
I was about to go back into that world. I was about to go in. I had an offer as a police officer, and I turned it down because of the shit that's going on.
Yeah, I had friends of mine at KCPD that were hearing calls and just letting them go.
Can you blame them?
Like, because they didn't want to be put in a situation in which they had to use force. Like, and yeah, I can't blame them, but that behavior makes everyone less safe.
Yeah.
You know, when
agree,
cops
but
stop doing their job because the consequences of doing their job is too much, that's a problem.
let me ask you, what was your first lesson in law enforcement training? Officer preservation, right? Officer safety?
Yeah.
Is there a line there?
Well, here's the thing. I would rather be, you know, judged by 9 than carried by 6. Like, that's always been what I was told.
Well, unfortunately, we live in a world where you're fucked either way. So
True.
Yeah, and yeah, there is a line. You know, the line is once someone's cuffed, once someone's restrained, the game's over. The fight's off.
but here's the thing, right? In the world that we live in, let's say that let's go back to Minneapolis. What was that? Late May when all that shit went down. So they cuff him. He's on his stomach. He still can't breathe. They're still gonna pin that fucker to the wall, despite what he did. Because that's the world we live in. He couldn't have won that situation regardless. I don't like his actions in it, but I will say that I don't think it would have mattered if a black man dies in custody. Then it's a fucking hate crime. But that's the reality, man.
Here's my thing. If you want me to be honest,
yeah,
I think the whole system is fucked. You have a whole bunch of fucking... I've said this before, man. You have a whole bunch of cops that are going into an area that they don't really understand. And they're forced to be not only law enforcement, but teachers, psychologists,
social workers.
They're taking on an impossible task. And this is all made worse by a system that predates on people. It predates on poor people. You know, you have a whole welfare class in this country that's not really fair. You know, like, you have a whole bunch of people in this country that are like born fucked. You have all these fucking drugs and all this shitty shit that happens in these fucking areas. And then you're going to take cops, you're going to put them in this fucking area and say, oh, well, good luck, fucking make arrests. And shit's going to get fucking real because, you know what? When you fucking when you have a bunch of people that are, you know, part of a welfare class and oftentimes also participating in a black market that is illegal, then you're going to have a bunch of cops that start seeing everyone that looks a certain way as fucking the enemy. Especially when a lot of your fucking cops are coming straight from a fucking war that's fucked up. I'm sorry, but Jesus fucking Christ, you could not create a worse fucking situation. And then you're going to put a bunch of fucking people with goddamn camera phones in the fucking neighborhood? Like, it's not a fucking good look, man.
Well, I don't disagree with any of that. But I will say to our law enforcement officials is thank you. Because I think that's something that you probably don't hear that fucking often anymore.
Not enough.
Yeah. And, you know, it's sad that these guys and gals have put themselves in positions to want to serve, and instead they're on fucking trial. And I'm not defending Derek fucking Chauvin. I think he's a piece of shit. And I stand on everything I've ever said about the fucking guy. The only people that want that dude dead more than the fucking, like, the protesters are the cops. They want to kill that bastard.
Yeah, but let me just say this, though, about that, right? Is that the Derek Chauvins of the world are fucking inevitable. As long as this system exists the way that it does, the Derek Chauvins of this world are inevitable, man. You've been around the fucking kind of people that wind up in prison.
Yeah.
They're the kind of people with 100 goddamn domestic violence charges and 100 goddamn fucking robberies and fucking maybe a fucking homicide or a fucking manslaughter charge, a billion fucking drug dealing charges, fucking goddamn felon in possession of a firearm fucking charges, a rape or two here and there. It's fucking crazy, man. Like, they're not it's not a group of fucking people that are socialized the exact same way as the people that are policing them. It's two completely different fucking societies trying to fucking coexist.
But
And then you put a bunch of cops in there.
But here's the
It's
thing,
fucking
right?
crazy.
I would like to say this in defense of our law enforcement professionals. Okay, you don't want an interaction with the police? Don't break the fucking law.
Amen. Fucking amen.
I mean, you're absolutely right there. But is it that fucking simple when you're raised in a fucking... all right, when you're raised in a fucking neighborhood where everybody fucking breaks the law?
Well, you know what?
That's
Here's the thing.
That's the reality.
It doesn't have to be your lifestyle. That doesn't have to be your choice.
I'm not justifying the behaviors, but I'm just saying the reality is that in a lot of these fucking areas, you're born fucked. And
because you come
break the fucking mold, bro. Like, here's where I'm at. I didn't have the best life growing up, right? I didn't. But what do I have? I have a house that's fucking paid for. I have a job. I have a beautiful wife. All my shit's paid for. I owe nobody nothing. Do you think that shit came easy?
No.
But that's not really my point, though. My point isn't that people don't have any personal responsibility. My point is that a lot of people in this country live in a completely different country. What I'm saying is that the fucking the welfare state in this country is maybe socialized a little fucking different than everywhere else. You grew up in a fucking trailer park in fucking Arkansas, right? It's maybe the rules in that trailer park are different than my fucking neighborhood, for sure.
Well, I don't disagree with any of that. But at the same time, I think there has to be a certain amount of personal fucking responsibility, because the moment that we lose sight of the fact that there are laws and there are consequences for your actions, we're fucked anyway, right? I don't think anybody should get a pass simply because they grew up in a bad neighborhood. There's plenty of white people that grew up in shit neighborhoods. Look at South Boston. Holy shit.
You're right. But those fucking crimes exist in that fucking area too. That's my point. I'm not saying that black people or Mexicans are any fucking different than white people. I'm saying fucking the welfare state exists in a different fucking continuum than the rest of us.
That I can agree with.
You know, for
There's
sure.
a different fucking rule set.
Well,
I'm telling you right now, if you fucking talk shit to me in this fucking neighborhood, I'm going to talk shit back or I'm going to fucking walk away. You talk shit to me in the fucking hood, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. And that's an assault in this neighborhood, but it's just fucking street justice in another.
That's fine, right?
I'm saying there's a difference.
Well, maybe. But if you don't like if you don't like the station, change the fucking channel. That's my whole point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. I know plenty of people that grew up in bad neighborhoods that made something of themselves.
Check this out. How about this? If you're dealing drugs in my neighborhood, I'm going to call the cops on you. If you're dealing drugs in certain neighborhoods in this country and you call the cops, you'll get fucking killed.
Fair, right? You're not wrong.
Maybe there's a fucking difference is what I'm saying. And maybe you're putting cops in an impossible fucking position.
Well, you're probably not wrong. I mean, in particular with today, I mean, with the political correctness, I was at work the other day and I called somebody. He did something stupid. And I was like, "Hey, dumbass, let's not do that. It's unsafe." Instead of him getting reprimanded for fucking doing something unsafe, I got reprimanded because I called him a dumbass. That's the world we live in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was real simple. You're a fucking idiot. Don't do that again. Oh, well, what's that supposed to be? That means you're a dumbass. Don't fucking do it again.
But so how do we implement making that person realize you are factually a dumbass? Okay, it might have offended you, but it needed to be said.
Well, I'll say it again. That's a guarantee. But not everybody's built like I.
Did y'all see that the Kentucky Senate voted to criminalize insulting police in a way that would cause violent response?
the fuck's that even mean?
What did you say?
It's a bunch of horse shit is what it is. The Kentucky Senate voted to criminalize insulting police in a way that would cause a violent response.
Well, as a police officer, you're going to eat a mountain of shit regardless all fucking day, every day. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that law took place. I mean, shit, like, I think you were talking about it a couple of weeks ago where they're trying to basically say if you're not a certain race, you can't walk into a certain neighborhood in West Virginia. That's fucking crazy to me.
Law zones.
That's crazy.
What?
You were there. You heard this.
You were there for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are you okay? Are you on the phone?
No, I'm trying to, you guys are, like, breaking up on me.
Oh.
A little bit.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap it then if we're breaking up.
All right. Hey, you guys, this is a good talk. I think we should continue this a little bit next week. Like, this is an interesting conversation because, yeah, there is a personal responsibility argument.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there is a legal argument. But there's a whole bunch of different realities taking place all at once. A little bit. And this is an interesting conversation, and it's a conversation, the type of conversation that I like to have. That takes context into consideration. A little bit. We're trying to have a real conversation here. We're not having the kind of conversation that happens on fucking MSNBC or fucking Fox News. It's not
Never
one
will.
side.
You're right.
So, I love you guys.
Love you too, buddy. With that, if you would like to email us, MikeMillerShow@yahoo.com. Please check out our sponsor, FireteamDesigns.com. We will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Numbers looking great. And if you guys are not aware, you should check us out on YouTube. What's the name of that shit, Casey? She's running our YouTube shit. Say that one more
No
time.
Tread Zone podcast. No Tread Zone podcast. I'll put it up.
Okay.
But
with that, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. And Mike Miller Show out.
Later.